afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, Menardo Guevarra out. UP Law Dean Darlene Berberabe is appointed as new Solicitor General. One of the rumored contenders for House Speaker embroiled in a marital scandal. The DOJ forms a team for the repatriation of former Congressman Arnie Teves after Timor Leste ordered his immediate deportation. After a tumultuous stint, the world's richest man, Elon Musk, is leaving the Trump administration. And a New York judge rejects the plea of embattled rapper Sean Diddy Combs for a mistrial. Thanks for joining us. The government has a new top lawyer. As previously known by Billionaire News Channel, President Bongbong Marcos has tapped UP Law Dean Darlene Berberabe to replace Menardo Guevarra as Solicitor General. Prior to this, Berberabe has been applying to become Supreme Court Associate Justice. She also previously served as Pag-ibig Fund CEO. Guevarra says he respects and fully understands the president's decision to retire him from government service. He adds he is leaving with a great feeling of fulfillment. Guevarra faced calls to resign back in March when he refused to defend the government in a case filed by the family of former President Rodrigo Duterte. The case challenges Duterte's arrest and turnover to the International Criminal Court. One of the rumored contenders for House Speaker in the 20th Congress embroiled in a marital scandal. Bacolod Representative and billionaire Albi Benitez is facing a complaint for alleged violation of the Anti-Violence Against Women and Children Act filed by his estranged wife, Nikki. Nikki has accused Albi of infidelity, and in her affidavit, actress Ivana Alawi was mentioned as the lawmaker's mistress. Ivana has previously denied she and Albi had a romantic relationship. The Justice Department forms a team for the repatriation of murder suspect, former Congressman Arnie Teves. That's as Timor Leste has ordered his immediate deportation. Let's get more details from Joash Malimban, who joins us live from the DOJ in Manila. Joash, what's the latest on this case?
Maya, the DOJ confirmed that an administrative deportation order has been issued against expelled Congressman Arnie Teves. The DOJ said they have mobilized a joint team composed of representatives from the Bureau of Immigration and the National Bureau of Investigation to facilitate his return to the Philippines. There is still no confirmation as to when exactly Teves will return to the country. However, one of his lawyers, Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, said they have sent representatives to the DOJ, BI, and NBI to obtain information on when and where their client will land to ensure that he avails his right to counsel. An impeachable source confirmed to Billionaire News Channel that preparations are currently underway in certain airports in Metro Manila for the possible return of Teves today. Yesterday, the government of Timor Leste issued a statement announcing that they will deport Teves through an administrative decision by the Ministry of Interior as he is in the country without a valid visa, lacking authorization to remain, and holding a cancelled passport. They said his extended 2-year stay in the country has become a disruptive factor in bilateral relations between Timor Leste and the Philippines. They warned that it also sets a serious precedent with potential implications for internal security. The Timorese governments added that the perception that Timor Leste could be seen as a refuge for individuals fleeing international justice undermines the integrity of borders and shared efforts to combat transnational crime. This development comes after the Philippine government expressed its support for Timor Leste's bid to join ASEAN. Teves currently faces multiple charges, including murder, financing terrorism, and masterminding the killing of his political rival in Negros Oriental, the late Governor Roel Degamo. The DOJ assures the public that the international community that justice will be served without fear or favor. Mai.
Thank you, Joash Malimban, reporting live from the DOJ. Senator Amy Marcos meets former President Rodrigo Duterte's defense counsel in The Hague. She shared a photo with Nicholas Kaufman, saying together they will bring FPRRD home. The former president is awaiting trial for crimes against humanity. She also empathized with Vice President Sara Duterte as she recalled her own family history. Her father, the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos Sr., was forced to flee the country after the 1986 EDSA People Power Revolution. Before going to The Hague, Senator Marcos and VP Sara earlier met with the Filipino community in Doha. And like Senator Marcos, VP Sara is also in the Netherlands to visit her detained father. That visit is set for May 30th. On her birthday, May 31st, VP Sara will join a gathering of Duterte supporters outside the detention facility. She plans to visit her father again next week on June 2nd and 3rd before returning to the Philippines on June 4. That's a day after the Senate formally convenes as an impeachment court for her trial. As the impeachment trial nears, House lawmakers reveal fresh allegations against the Vice President. Deputy Majority Leader Paulo Ortega exposed new suspicious names that allegedly received the VP's confidential funds, and several of them appear to have borrowed the surnames of senators. These include Beth Revilla, Diane Maple Lapid, Clarice Ontiveros, and Christine Applegate Estrada. Congressman Ortega said these bogus names from the so-called Budol Gang call for a deeper look and are too glaring to ignore. It can be recalled that in the course of the investigation into the VP's multi-million secret funds, the name Mary Grace Piatos and other dubious names were discovered. VP Sara will face 7 articles of impeachment, including culpable violation of the Constitution and misuse of public funds. The government is eyeing more policies to help ease inflation. For details, Paulo Barcelon is on the scene in Manila, where officials also inspected smuggled agricultural products. Paulo, let's begin with inflation. What do authorities plan to do?
Good afternoon, Mai. Government aims to roll out different moves such as cheaper rice and pork as a bid to lower prices and eventually lower inflation. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel announced this morning that local pork will be the priority for government's program to lower pork prices. Laurel adds, agricultural imports are mostly done to augment local stocks. The agency aims to implement a revised program to reinstate price caps on pork by the last week of July or first week of August. The DA is confident this measure can help alleviate pressure on consumers and eventually help lower inflation. The government is also eyeing more measures to expand the president's campaign promise of cheaper rice, this time targeting minimum wage earners. This comes amid declining approval ratings of the president and the chief executive's program to reshape the cabinet. Their latest move, minimum wage earners as the next available sector to access the government's 20 pesos per kilo program. Minimum wage earners will only be allocated 10 kilos of rice per month. The DA says they will also implement better guidelines on the matter.
Pag sa kadiwa kasi pipila, baka ang ano kasi doon yung issue yung identification, 'di ba? Medyo mahirap 'yun. Kaya merong talks on how to simplify and make it more efficient.
The Food Terminals Incorporated will shoulder transport costs, and adding excess fees to the subsidized rice will be strictly prohibited. Mai, this morning, the DA and the Bureau of Customs also inspected a shipment of smuggled agricultural goods, particularly a container of smuggled cigarettes from China, as well as 4 containers full of smuggled sugar. We're now clarifying who is this shipment intended for, where is this intended for, and what will be done to these specific products. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you. Paulo Barcelon reporting to us live from Manila. The world's richest man is leaving the Trump administration. On his social media platform X, billionaire Elon Musk said his time as a special government employee is coming to an end. He thanked President Donald Trump for the opportunity to help run the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. The White House has confirmed Musk's exit, which comes after he criticized what Trump described as a big, beautiful budget. The SpaceX and Tesla boss told CBS the spending bill would only increase the federal deficit and undermine the work being done at DOGE. Still in the U.S., as President Trump escalates his dispute with Harvard, he now wants the elite university to show the government their list of foreign students to make sure they're not troublemakers. Trump also proposing a 15% cap on foreign enrollments at Harvard.
Well, we're going to see. Look, Harvard has been a disaster. And by the way, they're totally anti-Semitic at Harvard, as you know, and some other colleges, too, in all fairness to them. And it's been exposed, very exposed. We have people who want to go to Harvard and other schools. They can't get in because we have foreign students there. But I want to make sure that the foreign students are people that can love our country.
The Trump administration has demanded that Harvard change its policies to fight anti-Semitism and discrimination on campus. But Harvard has defied what it describes as an effort to erode its independence and commitment to academic freedom. Trump 2.0 working to remove regulations on cryptocurrency put in place during the Biden administration. Speaking at the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas, Vice President J.D. Vance touted Trump's strong support for crypto and said the White House will also continue to fire officials who are hostile to the industry. During his campaign, Trump promised to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world.
And I'm here today to say loud and clear, with President Trump, crypto finally has a champion and an ally in the White House. We've got to clean up the wreckage that the last administration left us, and since day one, that is exactly what we've been trying to do. Our administration, we prioritize eliminating the rules, the red tape, and the lawfare that we saw aimed at crypto by our predecessors. We're ending the weaponization of federal regulations against this community.
Over in France, where a retired surgeon who sexually abused hundreds of young patients gets a 20-year jail sentence. Joel Lesquarnek is accused of aggravated rape or sexual assault of 299 victims over a 25-year period. A judge said Squarnek had preyed on some children while they were under anesthesia. This is the worst child abuse case in France to go to trial. Aside from the jail sentence, Squarnek has also been barred from practicing medicine or having contact with minors. We're taking a break. Up ahead, K-pop superstar JHope set to release a new single. That and more. The Newsfeed at noon returns.
The Philippines and Hong Kong begin formal talks on a double taxation agreement, a move seen to boost investor confidence and strengthen bilateral trade ties. Bureau of Internal Revenue Commissioner Romeo Lumagi Jr. confirms that the first round of negotiations took place last week. The proposed treaty includes mechanisms to prevent double taxation, provide tax relief, and establish frameworks for greater cooperation between Philippine and Hong Kong tax authorities.
From the world of lifestyle to the edge of the world itself, Ferdy Salvador.
Everything. Amazing little oasis in the middle of rice paddies.
Marie Lozano, taking you around the globe, one unforgettable journey at a time.
It all started with a very simple idea.
Luxury, adventure, discovery. Join Ferdy Salvador and Marie Lozano, where lifestyle meets the world. Get to the latest stories.
The Philippines bags a historic bronze at the 2025 Asia-Pacific Women's Lacrosse Championship.
The updates.
Table tennis power duo siblings brought home medals from the WTT Youth Contenders.
The scores and what to celebrate in the world of sports.
I'm Anton Rojas.
And I'm Erica Christensen.
On the scorecard.
Where sports is our business.
Business is our sport.
Only here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. Your newest source of news and information follows you everywhere, every day.
Wow, something to watch.
Not just surprise.
On cable and free TV.
Good morning, everyone.
Online.
On Trade Talk, joining us this morning.
Just days to go.
On mobile.
Simulan na natin ang agenda.
This is BNC and we are everywhere.
You're back on Newsfeed at noon. A legal setback for embattled hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs as a New York judge rejects his camp's plea for a mistrial. His lawyers had accused prosecutors of misconduct when they improperly suggested that Combs was involved in the arson incident. Rapper Kid Cudi had testified that Combs was involved in the firebombing of his car. The judge ruled there was absolutely no testimony that was prejudicial in any way, shape, or form. Combs is on trial for alleged racketeering and sex trafficking. On Wednesday, his stylist testified he repeatedly beat his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, and threatened to release sex tapes of her online during fits of rage. In other news, mark your calendars, Army, as BTS JHope is releasing a new single next month. The song, titled Killin' It Girl, will drop on June 13 and features American rapper Glorilla. JHope's label Big Hit says the record is a hip-hop track that vividly expresses the thrill of love at first sight. This follows Hovey's singles Sweet Dreams and Mona Lisa, which were both released earlier this year. Looks like our very own CJ Opiaza is about to make history as the Philippines' first Grand Miss International Queen. This comes after the reign of its title holder, India's Rachel Gupta, was terminated. The organization cited her failure to fulfill her duties and engagement in external projects without its approval. MGI later posted a video of CJ, who was last year's first runner-up. The pageant was founded in 2013 and is based in Thailand. In sports, top 5 seeds Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek move closer to their French Open goals. World number 1 Sabalenka reached the third round after posting a 6-3, 6-1 victory over Switzerland's Jill Teichmann.
Yeah, she started really well, and I'm really super happy that when I was down 1-3, I held my serve, and I think after the game I kind of felt a bit stronger, and I found my rhythm, and I came back in match and won this one. It was, yeah, as you said, it was tricky. She's a tricky opponent, very great tennis, and super happy to get through.
For Great Britain's Emma Raducanu. This marks her 23rd consecutive win at Roland Garros.
I played 2 good matches, but I can't expect that, it's all going to be easy now. So I hope you guys don't do that as well. Because you always need to be on your toes and ready for what life brings you. And sometimes, yeah, as I said, one day is going to be good, one day is not going to be so easy. So for sure, coming here to Roland Garros, I feel I like this place, I always played well here. So it gives you some positive, kick, but honestly, it's always you that needs to do the work anyway.
Still at the French Open, Carlos Alcaraz, also on track for his title defense. The Spanish champ prevailed against Hungary's Fabio Marozsan in a 4-set thriller to charge into the third round. We're taking another breather. Still to come, climber sets a new world record for the most climbs of Mount Everest. Get to know him after the break. Stay with us. a major shakeup in the beauty industry, budget cosmetics retailer e.l.f. is acquiring Haley Biebers' makeup and skincare brand Rhode. The $1 billion deal gives e.l.f. a footing in the beauty market with a celebrity-endorsed brand that has taken off among Gen Z and millennials. Haley's viral products and social media influence have fueled Rhode's success since its 2022 launch, with sales hitting $212 million. Haley will stay on as Rhode's Chief Creative Officer and Head of Innovation, as well as Strategic Advisor to e.l.f. Beauty. A new way to party is going viral in Metro Manila. Coffee raves are for those who want to have fun early in the day while balancing adulting. This new trend that sees cafes become club-like hubs has also taken over shops in other countries like India and the US. On Billionaire News Channel's It's a Beautiful Day, community events specialist DJ Mara shared why this so-called coffee rave culture is being embraced by millennials, Gen Zs, and even the older crowd.
I think we're all just looking for something different. Everybody just wants to meet someone. Everybody wants to have fun, have a good time, or wants to listen to music in a big space, want to meet new people, want to take their friends out, and communities such as the LGBT and all that, which are also is our biggest, makes our main and biggest demographic for our coffee raves. They want to feel, inclusive. They want to feel somewhere where they belong. And I think coffee raves give that energy. It just gives that vibe of something different, something new.
And before we go, a climber from Nepal, dubbed Everest Man, reaches new heights. 55-year-old Kamirita Sherpa broke his own record by reaching the peak of the world's highest mountain for the 31st time. Sherpa first stood on the top of Mount Everest in 1994 when working for a commercial expedition. He has climbed Everest almost every year since while guiding clients. Amid the milestones, he says he actually did not plan on setting records and he is focused on working as a tour guide. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on the Billionaire News Channel. Good afternoon.